to prove it, I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. I'm ready to do this, show you what the truth is. I step on the field, it's time to get real, I'm feeling so ruthless. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down, hand over my crown, hand over my heart. I do this for my town, I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. Yeah, so what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made of. Get in the game, your moment of fame, show them what you made of. It's time that we stand up, it's time that we man up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up. My time, nothing can keep me from reaching the top. This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to throw down, it's time for the showdown. I'm ready to rise, don't be surprised, I'll take on the world now. My time, none of you.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's going around the outside of both of them. Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson. Anderson's up to
Oh my God!
Oh, big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys I want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go!
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Place your bets and get ready to gamble as we roll it into the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas for round 2 of the NASCAR iRacing Series. Located just 15 miles northeast of the Vegas Strip, this 1.5 mile track is synonymous with high speeds courtesy of its 20-degree banking right throughout the corners. Ahead of us today is 200 miles of action, which will see us racing around the track 133 times. And of course, every second of it will be live right here on the iRacing Esports Network and presented by SimSpeed TV. My name is Ryan Jones, alongside me is Sean Ambrose. Behind the scenes is Jay Kennedy. And Sean, from what we've seen in practice, it looks like a lot of drivers are really fighting for grip out there.
Coming to you from the city built on sand and broken dreams, buddy. Las Vegas, Nevada, and the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Of course, it is a 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. And yes, the drivers are fighting it right now. It's a little windy on track. It's not terribly hot, but this is a real fast one, Ryan. And you know what? The new tire model, this aero package, a lot of dirty air to be found here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And that's going to make one of the problems for the drivers tonight as they get off of turn 4, especially. It comes up very quick, that wall does. And we'll see them fight 3 wide off that turn pretty regularly this evening. Let's see who can hang on to it and make it across the finish line for the checkers here at the end of this 100-lap race tonight.
Should be a good one. A lot of NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers in this race as well. Logan Clampett's in here. John Gorlinski, Jimmy Mullis, Zach Novak, Brad Davies. Who else we got? DJ Lyons in here too. A lot of drivers that know how to get it done. They've got a lot of experience. And
I
this
have a
top
theory.
split as a whole.
I have a theory
Yeah.
that they found out we were commentating. They wanted to show up. So there you go.
I don't know. This whole top split as a whole is just incredibly experienced. So we saw a lot of these drivers are the same for the ones as we saw last week at Daytona, and that race was incredible. 200 laps, and I think only 3 or 4 cautions, but all of which occurred at the end of the race. It was 120 laps green or something. And I think today we're going to see more of the same. A long green flag run strategy is definitely going to play a big part in this one today as qualifying currently underway. Currently it's Blake Neer that's fastest with 30.211. Matt Cookson sits second and Boyd Hogan in third at the moment.
Yeah, and Logan Clampett shutting his effort down as he's going to take another stab at it. I saw he only had 1 lap in, and he shut it down after that. Still sits at the bottom. See, Michael Jeans is out there, the Texas driver, coming around for his second lap. Let's see what this does. That puts with the P5.
Not a bad effort there to go to 5th place. His second and final attempt. Of course, most of the drivers, barring mistakes, should be improving on their second lap as the car picks up more and more speed and momentum after the outlap and the first flying lap. Zach Novak's a bit further down than I would have expected him to be. He's only 11th place. He's only 11th place after both of his qualifying efforts so far, so he's going to have to fight his way through the field. And a lot of drivers opting not to qualify at all. 15 drivers have put down times. There's 37 people in this split at the moment. And as qualifying winds down, it looks like only 15 drivers are going to end up setting lap times.
Yeah, it looks like that's might be all we have. I'm trying to see if anybody else. Let's see. David Lamb just got one in real quick there at the end. That put him up to P14.
Good late improvement from him. Able to put himself right up there. And mid-pack start. Let's go through the grid as we are just having a couple difficulties with our pictures, but they'll be coming to you very soon. Pole position, Blake Neer. There we go, pictures are back. Blake Neer on pole, Max Cookson starting second ahead of Boyd Hogan in third with Sean Disbrow outside of row 2. Michael Jean starts from 5th with Chris James in 6th. Garrett Maines starting from 7th, Justin Levine 8th. Top 10 rounded out by Alex McCollum and Brad Davies.
All right, Jonesy. Starting in 11th, going to be Jonathan Dalrymple next to Coca-Cola NASCAR driver Zach Novak. Adam Joslin's going to start P13 tonight next to David Lamb, who just picked up that P14 spot there at the end of quali. John Gorlinski starting 15th tonight. Steve Sheehan starting right next to him in the 16th hole in the number 17. Spencer Burns going to start 17th. 18th going to go to Logan Clampett. 19th and 20th spots will be filled out by Brandon Bulow and Bob Bryant.
21st on the grid, gonna go the way of Brendan McKissick. Jimmy Mullis will start 22nd with Ryan Dessette 23rd. Kane Cook starts 24th out of Jordan Worth and Damon Brunette. Jose Solis Jr. starting with 27th out of Jesse Atchison, Justin Batelio, and DJ Lyon running out the top 30.
All right, and then I'll take the rest of the field here. Garrett Mashburn going to start 31st, 32nd. Joshua Campbell, Zach Hudson 33rd tonight. The Canadian Josh McLemore will start 34th, 35th for Dustin Hall. Dylan Jones, the Midwest driver, 36th, and the last car in this 37-car field, Big Willie Norton.
Track conditions out there for these drivers. Nice and cool, 31 degrees, 88 Fahrenheit. Although not that cool, I should say. Probably right in the middle of the temperature range. I struggle for a little bit of grip out there. It is 1:45 virtual standard time in the afternoon. The sun beating on down on the track, and just south of the Nevada desert, that sun to be extremely hot.
I guess I got to say yeehaw for Texas, don't I? When we get there, can I say Viva Las Vegas without getting us in trouble?
Yeah.
We good? I can't sing it. Oh, jeez. Well, nobody wants to hear me sing anyway. All right, folks. Viva Las Vegas. Now, I'm looking forward. You know what? It's great to be away from Daytona. Had so much fun here for, let's face it, the last 5 weeks, right? It seems like we've all been at Daytona. Great to get to Vegas in the Cup cars. Great to do it here with you, Jonesy, under a beautiful day here in Vegas. Let's get it cranked up and going.
Well, let's find out who's put their money in the right place here in Vegas. 15 miles of casino country. Plenty of gambles still going to be thrown today. Who will play their cards right here at Las Vegas? Let's find out as pace car dives down to the field. Going to be left in the hands of Blake Neer as the green flag flies, and we are racing here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And a pretty good start from most of the field there. No real issues as immediately diving down to the inside of Max Cookson. The top three will go single file, and Sean Disbro want to try and get down in front of Michael Jeans, but won't make it happen. And they'll all try to sort themselves out through to 3 and 4.
McCullum back here moving quickly, already picking up 2 spots into P8, doing it from the outside.
And look at that, number 2 car, Garrett Maines, going all the way down the inside of the track, trying to pick up some spots, and he will do, make his way by Michael Jeans pretty nicely. Oh, sideways, right in front of him, 36, gets out of shape, and it causes a chain reaction as multiple cars go around on the back straightaway, and a few guys being collected in this one. A lot of separate incidents unfolding there, as a one-car moment resulted in a lot of other people having to check up and go around on their own incident. Logan Clampett got a piece of it as well.
Jonesy, Sean Disbro just got loose. The car started to brake on him, and the mayhem just exploded behind him. And Disbro actually gets away with it, not in that bad a shape as you'll see here. The rear end just starts to step out on the car as we actually follow Clampett here immediately.
He'd almost made it through, then got collected right as he checked up. And then he gathered that one up as well. And as he got back going again, he got hit again. Very unfortunate for Clampett. I think that damage Seth made him toe, so his chances of winning this race pretty much out the window here on lap number 2. And an early caution then to reset the field. And this is the replay looking at Alex McCullum. You can see the sideways and tried to get around it and just got loose himself.
Yeah.
Which caused quite a number of other drivers to then eventually get involved as well. And, well, that's the dangers of this package. Everyone is so tightly bunched. We see incidents like that happen very easily.
Yeah, the field just had no time to string out yet. Everybody's still very, very tight, pack racing in there. Not many options to avoid that, and it collected some good race cars, unfortunately. A lot of pits. In fact, only the top 9 stay out. Everybody else in the pit lane.
Yeah, Jose Solis Jr., the last car to stay out on the racetrack. Everyone else down in pit lane. They'll take 4 tyres and some full tank of fuel. Spencer E. Burns going to be the first driver out of pit road. Brendan McKissick will follow him with Kane Cook, Sean Disbro behind them. Disbro be feeling pretty sheepish. His little bit of sideways action caused that huge mess, and he's managed to escape without any damage to his car. As behind the pace car, no one a lap down, so it should be a pretty quick caution period here. I think we'll get
quicker than. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No? What are you going to say, Sean?
Well, I was going to say, is it quicker than Daytona?
I think anything will be quicker than Daytona. Maybe Pocono will be longer, maybe.
Hey, listen. I want to commend. I want to commend our lead commentator, Ryan Jones. He just completed his 4th Daytona 500 behind the mic today. A stunning achievement in anybody's commentating book, as far as I'm concerned.
4th one in 2 weeks. I've been at Daytona for way too long. I'm keen for some Las Vegas today. Stick of that 2.5 mile racetrack now. I'm done with it till we come back in July for the Coke Zero 400. But lights are out on the pace car. We've got the Wonder Green signal up in the flag stand, and we'll get them back underway. Hopefully for a longer green flag run than what we just witnessed. 134 laps ahead of us today. I believe I recalled saying 133. So I was off by a single lap on that one. As it'll be Max Cookson that will lead us back to the green. Blake Neer and Cookson basically swapping positions here on the front row of the grid. It was Neer from pole and Cookson to the outside. Now it's Cookson from pole and Neer to the outside. As the pace car will get out of the way and will unleash 35 NASCAR Cup car machines with 2 drivers stuck in pit road. As we get the green flag back in the air, another good start from Cookson. Will clear Neer down into turn number 1. As Garrett Maines will be stuck to the outside of Boyd Hogan here through 1 and 2. Try to sweep around the outside of him. And look back in the pack for the guys who took tyres. Will they be of any great improvement over the ones that stayed out?
That part of the field starts with Spencer Burns back there, and he's starting to move. So those tires are starting to get a little heat in him, and he's found the outside groove here.
He has, and the outside working quite well in the early restart phase here. A lot of drivers making some ground up there, as Zach Novak has found himself up into 4th place already from 19th on the, well, 12th on the grid. Very good start from him. He's to the outside of Blake Neer, trying to take 2nd place away, but here comes Garrett Maines down to his inside. Gonna give a little bump to the back of Neer, trying to get him to hurry along as through 1 and 2. The outside definitely looks like the place to be to make an overtake happen, as Novak almost pushing Neer into the fence down that back straight.
Yeah, Garrett Maines moves up into that top line. It slows Novak down. Kind of took the nose off him just a little bit.
Now Neer tried to go to the outside of Cookson. We'll see whether he can get the run working through 3 and 4 this time. Vi takes the wider arc. Garrett Maines almost into his left rear. And they had to get out of the throttle there. Side by side for 3rd place. The bottleneck forming there with everyone side by side behind them. Novak and Maines fending off Hogan, Davies, Dalrymple, Spencer Burns, and more. Side by side is getting a little bit loose. Through 1 and 2 was the 35 of Dalrymple. Gathered it up quite nicely in the end. But a little bit of a scary moment for him as Neer just can't get to the outside of Cookson here.
Just got a gaggle of cars back there all trying back for 22nd back in the field, making it 3 wide. Now finally starting to string out.
Maines has got down to the inside of Cookson now. They're side by side for the lead of the race through 3 and 4. Can Maines take it away on the inside? Is the outside going to prevail as it has been since we got back underway? Neer's got help now. Oh, Cookson's got help in the form of Blake Neer up top. So still the 2 cars can outdo the 1 on the inside. As Maines has to be careful he doesn't drift up the track into the side of that number 9 machine, and Cookson will clear him out of turn number 2. So we stay side by side. The lead stays with Cookson, and these top 8 or so cars continue to remain tightly bunched, unable to make any real progress.
Yeah, top line just stopped moving. It was running there for a moment, and now it's totally slowed down. And boy, who is that that got out of shape? Is that Gorlinsky? Looked like he got really high, wide, and handsome. Getting a run now, though. He seems to got the car back under him.
Of course, a high line does work well. Gives you a very good run down the back straight onto the tri-oval section as well, as you exit the banking at a much steeper rate. As we come across a complete lap 14 of 134. Start to think about the pit strategy. Apparently the field will go somewhere between 55 to 60 laps. Although depending on tyre wear, and you might want to pit a little bit before that and split your race in two. Maybe somewhere like lap 45 will get you home. Lap 45, lap 90, lap 133 will get you home nicely. There's number 12. Blake Neer just seems to be struggling a little bit now. Maybe just holding up Jimmy Mullis up there, or Zach Novak, sorry, on the outside.
Michael Sheen's getting another one of those spots back from Gorlinsky. Spencer Burns in a battle with Solis. They've really spread out here for 10th place. 3 wide going into 3.
Through the middle, Jimmy Mullis gonna prevail as down on the inside, Spencer Burns just clipped the apron a little bit. And Dowler will come up and take this one away from Solis Jr. too. As the 15 wants to try and make something happen. That's Kane Cook trying to find his way through. 3 wide again. Solis Jr. going backwards here. Nothing he can do. Getting freight trained by everyone to his inside. Finally stems the flow just a little bit. As top 3 now single file. Blake Neer's fallen behind the 25 of Boyd Hogan. And he's got the 14 of Davies and Zach Novak to his inside, as well as Maines goes to the inside of turn number 1 of Cookson, trying to take it away, just clips the apron, moves up a little bit, and Cookson moves up in response and gets a fantastic run down the back straight away. Garrett Maines just cannot get this move done. It looks like he's got the pace, but so hard to pass with these cars at this track at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Not many positions being made up at the moment. Davies with a little bit of scary moment there on the apron. The car got a little loose. He was able to reel it back in quickly. Provided an exciting moment for Novak as he moves to the top line. Brings Boyd Hogan right along with him. And then drops back down. Leaves him.
Through 3 and 4, Maines finally just about completes the moves to a slight overlap for Cookson, but Maines will lead that lap. And now Brad Davies is going to try to find his way through as well, as Maines clears Cookson through 1 and 2. Cookson trying to get the run down the back straight. He does get it, gets back alongside the number 2 machine. And Zach and Novak starting to find some more pace up top as well. Getting pulled along by the 9 of Cookson as Davies gets really close to the side of Novak through 3 and 4. No margin for error being left out on the table right now. As Jimmy Mullis and Boyd Hogan are side by side, the top 6 side by side. 3 deep here and very tightly packed as Cookson takes it back away from Maines, who couldn't keep the lead. And now he's going to have to try and fend off Zach Novak.
Jonesy, we speculated about drivers that would move up through the field when they took those tires. Dustin Hall was one of them. He sits right now in 13th, fighting with Jonathan Dow. Ripley's picked up 22 spots since we dropped the green flag on this race tonight.
Impressive feat, considering there's been 21 laps run. Some of those under caution, more than a spot a lap. Having a very good run so far. As again, Maines trying to take it away through 3 and 4. Again, he's going to lead them across the stripe, but Cookson is looking really strong on that outside, coming out of the corners. Davies just struggling a little bit with some grip coming to the tri-oval. And 3 wide for second place. as Novak goes up the inside, loses the momentum through the exit of 2 and comes under pressure now from Mullis to his outside. It allows Maines to clear everyone down the back straight and can finally use all the racetrack to arc away through the corner as Davies trying to complete the move and Cookson can't do it. Cookson gets back to the outside of Maines.
Levine had a scary moment on track, Jonesy, and boy, he avoids disaster. Got out of the racing line, managed to get it off track and stay off track without coming back up in front of traffic.
These top two are just stuck in the moment in a loop of side by side. And what it's doing as Maines and Cookson continue to do that is no one can get by them. Brad Davies and Jim Mullis now are the two drivers immediately next up. And neither of them can manufacture a run to get by. They don't want to take it 3 wide. It's a little bit risky early on. And if you're down on the inside as Mullis clips the wall down the back straight, you've got no room to use any of the track. You really struggle to keep your momentum up, and if you go around the outside, you're driving such a long distance around the track that you've got to have so much extra speed, it's not really doable. So this side by side at the front, it's going to be using up the tires for these drivers, but
yeah, they're going to be screaming for in about 10 laps. They keep driving them like this. Well, they're going to keep driving them like this, and in about 10 laps, they're going to be screaming for tires, and in about 10 laps after that, they may pit. If they can keep up this torrid pace right now, since that one really, really early caution on lap, 1.5?
Yeah, about 2 laps in. We had that first caution being green ever since. As Maines looks to finally settle in behind Cookson now and taking a wider arc through 1 and 2. Trying to save those tyres, gets a little bit loose though, coming through the middle of 2. And Davies couldn't quite capitalise that time by at least background. Gorlinski is trying to get up the inside of Boyd Hogan here for what will be 5th place on the track. Gorlinski can't keep the momentum up on the inside line, and Hogan will keep that spot for now. And now Gorlinski going to come under pressure from Jimmy Mullis, or Zach Novak, sorry. And that's the issue with the Cup cars at the moment, the package they've got. If you try to make a move, it doesn't work, you're losing momentum, you're going to lose out to the car behind very quickly. Oh,
Hogan found the wall. Boyd wrapped it hard. He's got right front damage on his car. He practically knocked it down.
Yeah, that car's going to be a little bit second rate now. A big gap has formed between 3rd and 4th on the racetrack. They're all stuck behind Jimmy Mullis at the moment. They all scattered down that back straight after Hogan got into the fence. And Maines was again trying to get the move done for first, but again, couldn't make it happen. And so the top 3 single file. Wonder whether they'll use this now to try and open up a bigger gap back to Mullis and co. and 4th on back.
Yeah. I take issue with that. I don't think so, because those guys are on the move. Look at that group. Mullis, 18 spots he's picked up. Gorlinski, 10 spots. Kane Cook, who I've been watching for about half a dozen laps now, is really coming. Those 3 cars are hooked up. And actually, Cook looking for more as he goes under Gorlinski here out of 4.
That car working very well down on the inside, hugging the white line through the corner. Able to keep the momentum up and take the spot away relatively easily. And moves himself up into P number 5, right behind Mullis. Started from 24th on the grid. Mullis started from 22nd. They've both come through the field very nicely in the early stages of this race. 1 second off the lead now, these 2 drivers.
And as we get to lap 30, what has the field done? They've basically gone line and stern all the way back. That's smart driving right now. Trust me, the tires are starting to fall off. Everybody knows that. No reason to take any big chances here. The only one that's taking any really big chances right now is Kane Cook, as he's really working on Jimmy Mullis now. I think he wants that spot. He's got the run here.
He is, goes down to the inside. Can he take it away? He's hooked up beautifully last time he tried this move, and once again, I think this time Mullis just rolled over a little bit and let him go through. Didn't want to fight him too hard at this stage of the race. and he takes that spot away for now.
It got evil too. That car got really evil at the end of 4 there as it got into the trioval there.
Did gather it up nicely. Everyone's just struggling a little bit to keep their car hooked up nicely. Struggling for a bit of stability in the rear end. It's coming around to them. It's a very awkward moment. It's how we saw that big crash unfold on the first lap, the second lap of the race. And we saw a little side of it there. Up front, Cookson has fended off the charge from Garrett Maines, who's now dropped a car length or so off his rear bumper. And actually coming under more pressure from Davies, and he's putting on Cookson out front. So Garrett Maines probably just used up his tyres, actually, just trying to get that move done on Cookson. He tried very hard for a number of laps and probably burnt them out just a little bit.
We saw Alex McCollum in the pit, and his car is still in there. Honestly, I don't know what happened to him. He just pulled off the track, came down into the pits, and there he sits.
Strange one there.
Yeah. Well, life happens. I mean, something might have happened. And car's up on the jack, so I don't know. I don't see anybody in the car, though.
Jimmy Mellis did that at Daytona last week, didn't he?
He did.
Came down into pit road and said, see you later. But, oh, here we go. Move to second place. Davies. Door-to-door with Garrett Maines through turn number 4. Couldn't complete it, but he's still got a slight overlap on the approach to turn 1. Can he send it in deep enough to complete the move? Maines got outside, keeping the momentum up nicely. As out of the corner lane car, Maines got a little bit too close to the wall and exit. Had to check up a little bit, I think, to avoid getting into it. And this allows a great opportunity for Davies to get down to the inside and take that spot away. And Maines will fall back to third place.
Gorlinski, McKissick battle for 7th place at the back door. Zach Novak. Right now, Gorlinski gets the edge, but McKissick has been game to take that position away from him. They find themselves line astern. McKissick looks to the inside again of Gorlinski. He's going to ride back in behind him. I talked about this in the pre-race. As these tires start to fall off and the air gets even dirtier, it gets even tougher to handle this car coming off of turn 4, where we're getting out of right now. Wind going at about 12 to 13 miles an hour. Pretty steady here. Out of the northwest.
Very close battle as well between Boyd Hogan and Michael Jeans. Hogan's been able to hold on pretty nicely despite that damage to his front right. You can see Blake Neer in the background was trying to make something work on Dustin Hall. Couldn't make it happen, and a little bit surprised despite that damage that Hogan's managed to hold on, because at a track where there's so much full throttle percentage you would expect, the size amount of damage to the front end of the machine is going to really hamper your top end speed.
We're looking at that battle back there between Blake Neer and right now Dustin Hall. Hall, another one of those drivers, have actually had a really good race. We talked about him earlier. He's still holding on to all those spots he's picked up. Hasn't moved much here lately, but hasn't needed to. He's got a battle going on in front of him, though, between Disbro and Burns. And that's really the first time we've talked about Disbro since he had trouble in that first incident.
Moves down, takes it away relatively easily from Burns, and he'll move himself up into P number 11. In doing so, Dustin Hall was able to close up to the back of them and dragged along Nia and Solis Jr. and Doucette as well. Solis Jr. looking to the inside of Nia now, who was on the attack just to lap or so ago. Now under pressure and pinching Solis down to the inside. Doing a good job of defending the position there. Now that 21 machine's going to come under threat from Doucette, who's going to go to his outside. See if he can make the outside work here in 3 and 1 and 2 even. He takes about an arc about 2 car lanes up the track and gets the run out of the corner, and shows us how to do it on the outside. Takes the spot away.
Doucette, a lot of laps in the car in practice tonight. One of those drivers I was keeping an eye on, and he seems to have figured out the condition he was having in the car. When I talk about condition, it was a loose condition, one that you might not like to drive a whole lot, especially for 133 laps, which, Ryan, we've now gone under 100. We're going to have 93 to go at the stripe.
Yeah, short, sweet race for these drivers today on the half distance, as is the majority of the NASCAR iRacing Series weeks. There are just 3 full-length races, which are the Daytona 500, the Darlington 500, and help me out here, Sean. And oh yeah, of course,
Charlotte.
and Charlotte's
Yes.
600-mile race, the longest race in that counter. That'll be a tough old slog for these drivers. That one.
I'm taking a nap for that tonight. Actually, I'm gonna get my first nap in for the 600 tonight.
Up front,
I
Brad
start
Davey.
early.
He's managed to close in the back of Cookson now and putting him under a lot of pressure. They've both dropped Garrett Maines by about a second. 1.1 the gap from Cookson to Maines as they came across the stripe that time by. And now Davies is looking like the fastest guy on the track, as a little bit of a wobble through the exit of 2 for Cookson. As Davies want to go to the inside here in 3 and 4. Just buys his time and knows that he needs to have a run to try and get a move done with the current package. As he sort of about gets one out of turn number 4. He does move to the inside, pulls alongside him, and they'll go side by side for the lead of the race here on lap number 44 as Davies all the way down to the white line trying to take it away, but Cookson going to have that run out of turn number 2 and will take it back. And they'll continue to go side by side through 3 and 4. Can Davies complete it this time by, as Cookson is running just on that first seam on the racetrack. You can see about 2 lanes up and working pretty nicely for him. He can keep that momentum up very easily and gets the run out of the corners that he needs. He actually led them at the line by 2,000ths of a second as we get our first pitter on lap 45. It's Michael Jeans coming down to pit road in the 34.
Jonesy, for all that fun they're having in first and second, Mullis and Novak are back here having a little fun of their own, battling for fourth. Garrett Maines is having the race of his life, doing absolutely nothing by himself on the track right there now. But Novak and Mullis have been fighting just as hard as Cookson and Davies are up front, who are still fighting. We've got Gorlinski leading the field down now in the pit lane. So here we go. Lap 46, everybody coming in. This is that spot we talked about, Jonesy. We thought they'd be in right about now, somewhere about lap 40 to 45.
I got a strategy number right for once. How good is that?
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. You were all over it, buddy.
And
Conspiracy theories in the booth here.
no issues on pit road for any of the drivers that have pitted so far. Cookson and Davies both opt to stay out for at least another lap yet. Tough time to get down to pit road. If you decide to come, the car behind you doesn't, because you've got to get that thing slowed down right on the inside of the racetrack and then get it turned off the banking onto pit road. You don't want to come down before the exit of turn 4, because if you run around on the apron through 3 and 4, you're going to lose a lot of time. So you've got to hope that the guy behind you checks up enough or takes a wider line. Often see communication over the in-sim chat as to drivers letting people know they're going to come down to pit road. Can't use the hand signals that you'd see them use in real life because, well, we're on a computer screen.
That's funny. I use them all the time. Hey, maybe that's why I keep getting... Is that what I'm doing wrong, Jonesy?
Probably.
They're not seeing my hand when I throw it up. Jeez, I didn't think about that. You know what? Cookson and Davies soldier on here. Lap 48. Both of those cars seem to be handling pretty well right now. Going with the theory, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But they're going to need to peel off. They've got clean track to do it with as drivers are cycling back onto the track. They do have open space in front of them.
They do.
I think this is it. I think I've spoken.
Yep, here comes Cookson. Yep. Cookson comes down. Davies stays out. Gets it turned down nicely onto pit road. Gets it slowed down very nicely as well. Right on to that 80km/h speed limit. And it will be joined by Doucette as well. Caution's out. And now that is a very awkward time to have a caution.
It was Boyd Hagen with trouble and trying to pick that up. He might have had a little help with this one. And you know what? I think they caught Chris James at a bad time when James is coming back up on track. It checked them up a little bit, and then Boyd's going to get run into here.
So what does this do to the strategy now? There's 11 drivers on the lead lap because of roughly, or well over half the field had already made their pit stops. Davies, Maines, Novak, Solis Jr., Botello, Dustin Hall, Dylan Jones, Campbell, Cookson. Well, Cookson was on pit road. James and Dissett was on pit road too. What does this do to the guys that are a lap down now, Sean?
Well, they've got a tough road to hoe here. Now, the problem is that we've seen a mighty green flag run there, right? That resulted in green flag pit stops for most everybody. They're going to need some help, obviously, with some more caution flags.
They'll get the wave around, but
they will get the wave around. But the passing is, let's face it, except for a few drivers, the passing has not been plentiful. So that's the problem they're going to have to face. And of course, you're stuck behind all that traffic. If something breaks out in the first 2 or 3 laps of the restart, well, then you're in trouble. Then you're in damage control mode, trying to avoid a big one, which we saw just 2 laps into this race when we got started tonight.
Definitely let's see if there's any changes of position coming out of pit road to be led by Brad Davies. Garrett Main to remain in the second spot coming off pit road. Jose Solis Jr. will be third off, ahead of Novak, Dustin Hall and Botello. And the drivers that pitted early on, they'll have a few laps on their tyres as well. And they'll take the wave around, but they'll be at a bit of a disadvantage. Won't have nice, sticky, fresh tyres. Just trying to remember who. Josh Mickelmore was one of the early pitters. Done about 4 or 5 laps on his tyres already. So those guys will be at a bit of a disadvantage too.
Yeah, Gorlinski's another one of those drivers that was in. Michael Jeans, remember, he was one of the first ones. In fact, he was the first one to pull off, if I remember correctly.
Don't expect to see anyone come down to pit road here. They all will want to take that wave round and get themselves back on the lead lap, and as such, no one even thinks about making that move down on to pit road. Boyd Hogan comes down to the lane and joined by Garrett Mashburn.
Odd. Doucette drove through pit lane, didn't stop in his box. Just picking that up. Our director thought he had picked that up, and he did. And I'm wondering, he just missed it. I wonder if he forgot. I don't think he knows where his box is at. He's missed it again.
Strange issues there then. For
yes. He's well, okay. So he is back towards the beginning of the pit lane, just as you come off there. I mean, he did start in 27th, I think it was. So he's in those last 10 stalls towards the back of what would be the beginning of pit lane when they come in there. But he has missed it twice, fellas. Something else got to be afoot. He didn't really miss it twice, did he? You don't do that, do you?
Not twice, no.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do that. I do.
Yeah.
Doucette's
You're
got,
hopeless.
What,
You're old and hopeless.
As you continually remind me, yes, I am old, and probably yes, a bit hopeless. Yes, true.
We get the Wander Green signal here. And everyone will come
Doucette's in again.
Get their
it's
wave
right
around.
Turn left.
Doucette on pit road. He finds his pit box. Hooray for number 13.
I bet on black that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the field will line up.
He is rocking the number 13 in Las Vegas. I'm just saying that may not be a good omen. So
So it'll be Cookson lining up off the front row with Brad Davies to his outside. Garrett Maines and Zach Novak will start off the second row of the grid. Lap 55 when we come to the green here, which means 85 laps to go. That is completely wrong. 80 laps to go when we go back green. They'll still need to make a pit stop if they stay green. And delayed green, we're going to be going one more time around.
What? That's a thing?
Yep, that's the thing. Someone, if they're still on the track, it will delay the green. Not sure who it was, though.
Some of you may have a chance to run and get a beer real quick. Or why should it be a beer? Your favorite beverage. We could just live it at that. So
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, definitely refreshing.
Joshua Campbell is getting shuffled down the order. Wonder if that was the reason. The delayed green, possibly a car out of position. There's a lot of drivers who are all single file as a result of the wave around. We got 27 guys back on the lead lap to set the final of those drivers. Mashburn, Hogan, Jocelyn, Cook, and Hudson are all a lap down. We've got 5 drivers that have retired from the race. As we come through 3 and 4. Lights out again. Let's try to get them back underway once more. 79 laps to go when we go back underway. Still need to go to pit though. That's about 20 laps too many to make it on one tank. Let's see if the aggression is turned up a notch from what we saw off the first restart of the day. Pace car gets out of the way. Field left in the hands of the number 9, Max Cookson. They all check up quite a bit there, left it very late. Finally, pins a throttle, gets us back underway. Garrett Maines will pull alongside Brad Davies. And behind them, Zach Novak will go down to the inside as well. And Davies, a poor restart from him, is going to go from 2nd to 4th. And going to have no momentum, immediately switches to the inside to try and stem the flow as Dustin Hall looks to his outside, and Max Cookson taking a defensive line down the back straightaway. Garrett Maines pushing him into turn number 3.
Jonesy, they are fighting hard back here for 8th and 9th. It's a real hornet's nest. Dylan Jones, Gorlinski, all in a battle. They're 3 wide across the front. Trying to see that's the 21. That's Solis all the way down on the apron. He moves up the track a little bit right in front of Mullis.
Oh, Hogan got out of shape on the exit of the quarter as well, right behind them. Mullis through the middle picks up, I think, 4 spots in 2 corners there. And now going to be followed through by McKissick, and Chris James loses 2 spots very quickly. 3 wide on the outside, doesn't work particularly often. And he shows their change at the front too. Garrett Maines taking the lead away. And Brad Davies is trying to take 2nd place away from Cookson, who's going backwards now on the outside. Finds himself in 3rd place down the back straightaway. Going to push Garrett Maines here. Gives him a big shot. Gets Maines a little bit out of shape on the approach to turn 3. Gets a little bit clear, in fact, of Brad Davies, who's going to take that spot away from Max Cookson. It looks like the inside's prevailing early on in these restarts at least.
Almost 3 wide up front. Maines, Davies, and Cookson.
And Dustin Hall and Gorlinski watching on as well, trying to find a way through. As Maines taking an offensive line, doesn't want to allow Davies down to his inside on the approach to turn 3. What it's doing though is it's compromising his run through the corner. It'll certainly compromise it more and more as the run goes on. The tyres will have to stop doing it, otherwise you'll lose a bucket of time. As here comes Gorlinski in the back of Davies. Maines weaving all over the track on the approach to turn number 1. And Cookson still trying to hang tough on the outside.
You hang up there, I'm going to hang back here around 12th, 13th place where it is just absolutely crazy right now. Will Norton, Blake Neer, Spence Burns, Chris James, all having a bit of fun.
Davies right on the bumper of Garrett Maines up front. Where's he go? Maines covers the inside again. Gorlinski bottled right up behind Davies as well in the entry to one. Loses a little bit of stability through the corner and falls into the clutches of Zach Novak, who's coming under pressure from Dustin Hall and has to defend from him now. This is a great battle here for the top 5 or 6 spots. And everyone certainly a lot more aggressive now than they were earlier on. Almost again 3 wide for the lead of the race, but not quite. Davies still trying to push Maines clear of Cookson so he can clear Cookson and then have a go at the number 2 car himself. But Cookson doing a good job up top and now gives a big shot to the back of Maines down the back straight away. Gorlinski's going to go up there as well. Now the outside's starting to come in.
Mama, that's where the fun is, all the way up front here. We've got a battle of about 8 cars strong at the moment, all breaking away from McKissick at the moment, who's holding down the rest of the field behind him.
Right, there's Davies to the left side of Garrett Maines. What about 3 wide for the lead of the race? Thinks better of it. Almost hooked him coming out of turn number 2. That was incredibly close there between the 14 and the 2. Davies definitely looks fast right now, but he's bottled in. He's got a car in front, a car to his right. He can't back out of it, otherwise Gorlinski's going to be Maines playing with fire right now.
Oh, he almost lost the bumper off that Toyota. Woo! He's missing a layer of paint. The clear coat is gone. Go ahead.
You go ahead, Sean.
I was going to say Novak is taking advantage of this. He's really starting to get the nose into this battle down on the inside. He had dropped back to that second pack, but now he's brought himself up, and they've started to drop the, who is that? They've dropped, Mullis is starting to fade back. In fact, he's being now brought, McKissick is starting to catch up to him.
He is. Zach Novak just tucked in behind Dustin Hall as Gorlinski gave a great push to the back of Cookson. And, Gorlinski, what happened there? Shoots up the racetrack.
That car got really mad at him, and something's happened.
Engine.
He's got something else is going on. He's pulling off the track. I'm starting to wonder if he's...
By the sound of it.
I'm going to go on board with him.
Yeah, his engine popped coming through turn number 4.
It sure did.
Pushing too hard.
Wow. Wow. We're on the replay now. We'll go on board Gorlinski here at some point, but the car, the motor just detonates on him. Following Cookson there. And it's just dead. He tried to get it back to the pits, but the car is still rolling down the backstretch against the wall.
Davies. While I was watching that, missed what happened at the front, but Cookson's gone back to 3rd. Maines is now on the outside, and Davies is to his inside. Almost made contact through 4. And now just about going to take it away through turn number 2. Maines still hanging tough on the outside. This is fantastic stuff. I just caught a glimpse of Paul Gorlinski's machine. All the way down to the apron, on the back straight, trying to limp home. And I feel the drivers probably would have taken note of that and just check their engine temp a little bit, because
yeah,
you don't often see engines blow at a 1.5 mile racetrack, do you?
On the 1.5 mile tracks, no, which makes me think maybe they missed something on the setup. I'm not sure. Something might have been overlooked. Maybe we'll get a little feedback here in the chat at some point, but it is a little strange for him to blow up, only 67 laps in a 134 lap race here on a 1.5 mile track, yeah.
I mean, he was tucked right up behind Cookson's car, but even with no airflow getting in, he wouldn't think the car would be running. Contact in the background.
Mullis.
Jimmy Mullis, hold on to it. No, they can't. Big crash. And that is a big incident out of turn number 2. Everyone slows up nicely to prevent it from becoming a huge accident. And we go under caution once more.
And Mullis gets hit, but the 37 lost it on the apron also, and that wreaked havoc. It was Dustin Hall, and everybody that was behind Hall got collected right behind him because when he clipped the apron, the car came right up, back into traffic. You see Mullis getting banged around there. Mullis, just before he spun, he made that contact with the 37, and that just put him in a bad place. But a lot of good race cars involved in that, and one of them was the 15. And well, we had seen great things out of Kane Cook early on in this race, moving up a lot of spots, and now that car is in the pits.
Kane Cook almost made it through, and unfortunately Dustin Hall car snapped back to the right as Cook got to his outside. And fired him hard to the outside fence along with Jimmy Mullis. Boyd Hogan got a piece of it. Solis Jr., just have a look at him. He spun down to the inside. Not too much damage to his car. He just clipped, I believe it was Dustin Hall. And the front right's looking a little worse for wear, but I reckon they can get that fixed, and this car can stay competitive after he gets that damage done and repaired.
Mashburn gonna get the lucky dog, get one of his back. Maine's gonna be the first one out of the pits. He does beat Max Cookson out.
So, no big change in the field. Everyone, of course, coming down to pit road. Can they make it home from here? Lap 72 of 134. That's about 60 laps. Probably a lap or two short, and especially if we get green white checkers.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be short. I don't think this is going to be the last caution flag either, though, because we've got some beat-up cars returning to the track, and that's not going to bode well. This track's been tough enough. Trying to manage the rest of this race with a car that's maybe ill handling could be a recipe for disaster.
The racing so far, though, has been absolutely commendable. It's been fantastic stuff. And we're going to go to a quick break here on the iRacing Esports Network. When we come back, we'll have to restart here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing!
Lead to the inside goes Logan Clapman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact. He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Yeah.
White flag. Damn, not back yet.
What?
Final lap of the caution period. 1 to go. Wow. Words. Work, please. Brad Davies.
Words are fun.
Yeah, they're really not. Brad Davies and Garrett Maines will restart here off the front row of the grid with Max Cookson, Zach Novak on row number 2. We've seen some fantastic racing already, and with about 60 odd laps to go, the aggression will get turned up yet another notch, I do believe, as he got turned up a notch last restart. Let's see if it happens again today. Now. Oh boy. The brake wasn't good for my brain, apparently. I thought it would help, but not. Alright, let's get this one back underway. Brad Davies will lead the field back to the green flag. Green flag back in the air. We're racing once more, and a good restart for Davies. Garrett Main's going to come down to the inside, right across his rear bumper, goes to the very inside of Brad Davies, trying to get to the inside line. Couldn't quite get there, and Max Cookson now going to have a good run on Mains through turn number 2. They just struggle for a little bit of grip on these cold tyres, and Cookson's going to push Mains to the outside of Davies.
Solid restart there to get this race going again here for the second half.
Justin Patello all the way up top of the tri-oval, going to get freight trained by a few drivers there. Very wide for a moment as Spencer Burns and Zach Novak made their way through, as did Blake Nia, Will Norton. Justin Patello losing quite a bit of ground at the moment. Caution's out again.
We caught another one, and this time, oh man, it was back in the field, and it was Garrett Mashburn with a bad accident. Big junk in the back.
Not an expression often used for racing.
It didn't really start with Mashburn. It actually I think it was the 18 that got really, really loose. There might have even been a little bit of contact. Dare I say, maybe even some net code back there where it started with Jordan Worth. Nah, Worth's car just started to break loose on him. Coming off the 2, rear engines came out on it, and it just started a chain reaction that collected a bunch of cars on board with Mashburn here.
The cold tyres on these cars really are an absolute pain as a driver, because you restart, and normally on the restarts you're able to go flat out through 1 and 2, but you've just got to feather the throttle a little bit in the first lap or so.
And everybody coming back down most everybody coming back down just after 6 laps on those tires. I don't think they like that set. Universally, I think the whole field thought that set of tires sucked. And they just said, you know what, we're coming back. So that was a bad batch of good years.
Yeah, the cold tyres been in the service for a few weeks now on these Cup cars, but a few drivers still struggling to come to terms with them a little bit. I think we're always going to see drivers struggling with the cold tyres, because you want to be as aggressive as you can sometimes, or you want to make spots up on the restart, but the tyres won't let you do it half the time until they get up to temperature. There's a few drivers stayed out. Garrett Mains, Cookson, I think about 10 drivers opted to stay out here.
Yeah, it wasn't a universal peel off there, but a great number of the drivers we've seen up front decided to peel off in Mains, Cookson, Davies, Neer, David Lamb, Dalrymple. Solus even stayed out that time. Do we have time to run off to slot machine or 2 and then come back, or what? No, maybe not. Oh, that's right. Yes. Ryan, will you take care of everything? I've been informed you may not be old enough to go into the casino with us.
I'm old enough in the country I live in. That's what's important.
Oh, okay. Where's the nearest casino?
For me?
Yeah.
Oh, about 5 minutes away.
Oh, I was going to brag because my closest one's about 40 minutes away.
Poor old Jay in the director's booth has got about a 3-hour hike to the nearest casino, I think. Hour and a half, apparently. At least here in Las Vegas, what the drivers have done in the real world, they can head over to the Vegas Strip and hopefully get lucky on the gambling, or the on the casino, on the slots, if they didn't get lucky on the track that day.
I know a story or two actually about maybe a race car driver that people know, maybe a couple of them that, let's just say, happened in some money in Vegas. Probably shouldn't say much more about the stories, but yes, and as our director reminds all of us, what happens in Vegas definitely stays in Vegas. But
I really feel like Jay should unmute his microphone for all these clips in the caution periods.
Yeah. Well, it falls back to the tires, Jonesy. We've talked about it a couple of times, and we've had one really, really good restart. If you start to think about it, it was the one that led to a long green flag run. But since then, we've had a little trouble getting these races restarted.
Yeah, and we're getting into that final stint of the race now where drivers are going to be making moves they wouldn't make earlier on. We saw already Garrett Maines was very aggressive on Brad Davies in that last restart. And we're going to start to see some more three-wide action, I do believe, too, as drivers try to make it happen early on in the restart, because the longer you go, it seems to be the harder it becomes to pass until you start to get towards the end of the stint, which is 40 or 50 laps away. So
I was just going to say real quick, the wind has picked up here at the track. So is the temperature, just a little bit. So as the afternoon goes on here, this track gets hotter, these cars get a little more worn out. Expect these last 50 laps to be absolutely nuts.
All right. Let's see just how nuts it gets then with Garrett Maines starting us off from first for this restart. Cookson, who was outside, goes very early, earliest we've seen all race long. And that allows Cookson to get down to the inside immediately off this restart. And Davies and Neal be caught side by side on the entry to one.
Botello back there giving a big push, trying to get the outside line running. It's going to be Spencer Burns that drops up there to try and help out.
Solis Jr. running around in seventh place. I said his car is probably going to be all right despite that incident. Well, he's proven that is the case at the moment. He looks to be plenty up to pace at the moment. Well in this lead paddle as the leaders. Side by side, Max Cookson, the inside of Garrett Maines, takes the spot away. Brad Davies will get down to the inside of Maines as well. And he's going to go backwards here unless he can find something up on that top line. It seems to take a few laps to the outside to really come in, doesn't it, Sean, off these restarts?
Yeah, it does. It does. But Maines has been one of the drivers that hadn't been afraid to run up there tonight. This isn't the first time we've seen him stick up there in that high line and just trust it. He's getting a little help from Blake Neer as he starts to close.
Oh, it just slides up a little bit through turn 2.
It looked a little rough there.
He's cleared the Davies machine. I think he wanted to go down to the inside, but Cookson made sure that wasn't going to be possible. Through the block on the entry to 3. And up the track goes Davies. Just gathered it up before he got into the front left of Blake Neer's machine. That was incredibly close for Brad Davies. He got very, very lucky there. I think, well, the whole field got very lucky there, because if they'd crashed, that would have been a monstrous incident.
Oh, would you say massive? Yes?
Yeah?
No? Maybe?
So, Davies again on the inside of 4. A lot less scary this time by to the inside of Garrett Maines. Now, Spencer Burns has appeared up in 4th place across the start-finish line to the outside of Blake Neer. Garrett Maines has found something up there now. He's getting some good momentum out of these corners, starting to get very close to getting an overlap back on Cookson. As again, clears Davies, well, not quite this time, but it's over 3. Solis Jr. just biding his time well. David Land at the outside of them as well. Dalrymple, Novak, Norton, Vitello, the lead group goes a long way down the order.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I'm near Brad Davies, I'm a little scared right now. I'm stepping on eggshells. I know Garrett Maines is. That car is and Davies down to the inside of Cooks and gets it back down there, but the right rear not happy on the 14.
It's not. There we go. Through turn 4, Cooks and clears a flat car on the way.
Traffic.
That's 34. And you saw a lot of drivers that just suddenly dive down the racetrack. And another one there, the number 10. And now Garrett Maines gets to the inside of Brad Davies. Turns 1 and 2. I think that lap car aided him doing so. And just about pretty much takes it away down this back straight. Should clear him here in 3 and 4. Where's Blake Neer going to go? Is he going to push the inside or the outside of Garrett Maines or Davies? Maines clears Davies through turn number 4. And now can set his sights on Cookson once more as Blake Neer gets a slight overlap on the 14 as well. Maines all the way down to the apron, to the inside of Max Cookson he goes as the lap car blows up against the wall as they go by them. And it's side by side in the race once more, the 2 versus the 9. But the run out of turn 2, very powerful there for Cookson. As almost they will come together on the entry to 3.
Absolutely incredible. That's Maines had to get out off the outside there. He was tired of playing defense basically and avoiding the trouble. Gets down to the inside, forces the car down there, and he's able to hold on to this lead right now, hugging that bottom line here, heading through 3 and 4.
Look how tight Cookson was pinching Maines down to the white line through 1 and 2 that time by. It works nicely for him. Just about gets half his car in front of the approach to turn number 3. Blake Neer cannot find a way through. He's going to have to try and push someone or hope a gap opens up through the middle to make it 3 wide potentially. Spencer Burns and Brad Davies. Davies going backwards here. He's lost out to Burns, and now he's losing out to Zach Novak on his inside as well.
We haven't talked about Novak in a little bit. He's been playing it safe. Maybe not safe, just not really making a lot of noise. But now he's starting to bring it. Gets Spencer Burns to the outside, trying to clear him here through the tri-oval. Up front, Maines takes it all the way down, practically into the grass. Into 1. He still holds the spot. Watch out. Cookson brings it right down in his doors. Side drafted out of 2.
And Blake Neer looking racier and racier, as is that number 19 machine of Zach Novak, who goes down to his inside through turn number 4. And Novak looking very racy now. He's got the pace when it matters, up 92 of 134. Top 8 side by side, covered by 0.5 of a second. As again, Maines, he just cannot complete that move on Cookson. They're stuck at the moment. Side by side with each other. They need someone to influence this battle as Maines about clears him out of turn number 4. Can't quite do it.
Jonesy, this pack 15 strong across the line. DJ Lyons picking up the slack from behind in 27.
See at 34 coming out of pit lane there on the inside. He'll stay well out of the way. We've got on the lead lap 21 cars still. And 15 of them, as you say, in this leading group. Going all the way back to 16th place, actually. Jesse Atchison on the number 22. As they go by another lapped car, everyone forced to take a lower approach to turns 1 and 2. Will that aid or hamper? Garrett Maines on the inside is going to hamper him because Max Cookson, a very, very strong run that time by.
And look who's made his way up into the battle. Man, Novak here. Close moment there with Maines, but he drops in the line here, and they'll get past the traffic here. There's Joshua Campbell staying out of the way.
And for a moment, the top 8 are all single file as around the outside tries Jonathan Dalrymple on Solis Jr. And he's going to complete that move with the big slipstream effect coming off the cars in front of him in the approach to turn number 3 up front, side by side again. And it's Maines back to the inside of Cookson. And we're back where we were 2 laps ago with the top 2 side by side and no one really able to take the lead away for thousandths of a second, separating them at the line. Zach Novak just sitting in 3rd, watching and waiting and learning, figuring out how he can put himself into the lead of the race. Side by side, back for 5th place as well. Blake Neal on the outside of Spencer Burns, who's trying to take that spot away. Not quite going to be able to do it this time by. It looks like they're getting really close to return on the almost making contact. And Botello struggling for the rear end grip of that machine as well. That car getting a little bit sideways through these corners. Dalrymple just running a lane up the track, trying to sight a way through on him as the leaders continue to stay side by side on the approach to turn 1.
Oh, and David Lamb got really loose, and boy, just avoids coming back up in front of Braden Buhas. Woo! David had Mr. Toad's wild ride there. Go to Disney World sometime, guys. You'll understand what I'm talking about. So
I got no feel like joke, man. But let's roll with it.
if you've been to Disney World, you know what Mr. Toad's wild ride is. So that's it. It's wicked fun.
Okay. I'll trust you on it. As Cookson able to clear Maines. Maines able to defend from Novak now. Top 3, line of stern through 3 and 4. Lap 99 about to tick over onto lap number 100. 35 laps to go here in Casino Country, just south of the Nevada desert. And I believe still going to have some pit stops as well to come. You reckon, sure, they're not going to make it home?
Yeah, no, they're not going to make it home. And I'm going to be honest, I think that window is starting to open. In fact, I'm thinking maybe the next 15 laps, we'll start to see some cars peel off. You start getting into that 20 to go, and then you wonder not to get enough time to make moves. You probably want to get in here sometime before 20 to go, especially with the way it's tilting right now. And that is green flag, baby.
Green flags now, but one slight wrong move, just an inch wrong in your calculations of where you place that car, could end that green flag run in the blink of an eye.
I'm sad, Jonesy.
Why?
Mr. Toad's wild ride isn't there anymore. It's gone. So you can go back to calling me old whenever you want, okay? It's gone.
I'm sure it was there in the 30s when you
For the lead, though. Maines and Cookson continue to battle it out.
Do you think these two will ever end up side by side and then one of them actually completes the move? I think Maines needs to try to work to his way to the outside of Cookson, because his inside really does not seem to be working for him, does it?
It does not. No, it does not.
And Zach Novak might get to the outside of Maines. No, he won't. Maines will cover that off. Now Novak going to look to his inside. Maines does not try to cover that. So maybe now he's going to try that outside line. And Brad Davies in 4th is hanging on to them as well. A gap starting to form back to 5th place. A gap about 0.6 of a second between Davies and Spencer Burns. Burns has got Botello down to his inside now through 1 and 2. The 24 has been struggling for some grip for most of this stint. And again struggles to that corner and won't complete the move that time by at least. Yet to see anyone dive down to pit road as well. Big pack of cars for 9th on back, led by Steve Sheard. Jesse Atchison at the back of the group in 15th place. All fighting for a spot inside the top 10. As Garrett Main slides up the track on the exit to turn 2, Max Cookson will watch in his mirrors as Novak gets down to the inside of the number 2 machine, and Brad Davies going to try to come give him a push and a helping hand as well. As they make their way through the tri-oval, and they slot back in line, and here comes Mains again to the inside. Can he do it this time?
No.
Can't clear him, and Cookson going to have to run out of the corner.
Yo, I'm happy for Davies. He's apparently gotten that car back together after that last restart. Things looking a lot better for him now. Things have stabled out for him just a bit. In this pack, though, Novak, what we need to remember about Novak is he's on just a little bit different strategy. That car came in last, and the rest of these guys he's fighting with at the moment, they've been out there on about, 7 lap more old tires at the moment. So Novak here may be looking for his opportunity on up to go to the front now, as he has found the legs and has pulled up in front of Mains. Can he get alongside him and pass? If he does, he'll drop it down inside. Yes! Novak to the bottom, all the way to the apron, at the line, into one.
Let's see if Novak can make it work on the inside. In fact, he's cleared Cookson already in turn number 1. Cookson gets into his right rear, trying to crossover move. Unsettles the rear end of that 19 machine. Cookson, great move, back down to the inside, side by side once again. Cookson, for the first time in a long time, on the inside of the racetrack now. As Zach Novak will lose the lead that he took away for all of about 5 seconds. As he now gets to the bumper and goes back down to the inside of Max Cookson. Into turn number 1, slides back up right in front of Garrett Mains. Davies gets into the side of Mains.
Wow. Are we having fun yet, Jonesy?
Yeah, pretty good.
Not bad. We're getting on.
Novak to the bumper of Cookson, then into 3 and 4, sets himself up wide, trying to arc down the corner, but Brad Davies puts a NASCAR Cup car size blockage on that strategy, because he gets to the inside of Novak. He can't come down the track, and he's got to work the outside now, as Davies will get his shot at the lead of the race. He gets to the inside now of Cookson, into turn 1 and through turn 2, sliding up the track, no room being given. Cookson right up against the wall, and Davies all about cleared him. Mains is starting to fall off the back of this group. I think he worked those tyres a bit too hard, trying to get by on the inside for so long.
Davies to the front. Oh, wow. Easy, Maxie. Easy, baby. Oh. What did we see there? What was that? Loss of concentration or what?
He was odd. Kind of unsettled as soon as he moves. I reckon Novak could make it to the end of the field.
Well, see, that's kind of the point I was making before. He just might. Ooh, why have we all for close to be? Oh, this is a GSRC guy trying to do math. Oh no. Oh, I'm failing. 54, 56 laps. Be close.
Sure. Do set up against the wall, trying to get out of the way. The leader's staying as high as he can. Novak goes by. Cookson will go by here as well. And I tell you what, Dylan Jones has clawed his way into this battle. He is getting to the inside of Garrett Mains now. He's just about covers him off, but he came from nowhere, Dylan Jones. Closed up a lot to get to this leading group of guys. And he's going to about clear him through 3 and 4. So Dylan Jones puts himself up into P4 now. What's he got? Can he get to the lead of the race? As up front, Zach Novak is starting to reapply the heat to the back of Brad Davies in the 14 machine on the approach to turn 1. Won't have a look here. Probably going to set himself up for a move down the back straight and into turn number 3. But Davies, very strong through 1 and 2, and Novak just lost a bit of ground there.
we can't forget about the guys just behind this battle, and that's Will Norton, Spencer Burns, Justin Patello, and Steve Sheehan. Those four having their own little bit of fun, and whoa, Patello with a wild moment as he just got into the deal. Well, the rear end came all the way around on him. It snapped, and he caught it.
They just about keep their cars straight. Lap 115 of 134, not much to go now. Just a handful of laps, about 16 or so to go. As down to the inside goes the number 24 of Patello and takes it away from Spencer Burns with a slight wiggle through 3 and 4 of the number 5 machine. And now Steve Sheehan's going to try to find a way through as well.
Haven't talked much about Sheehan since the beginning of the race. Quietly, he's climbed his way back into the top 10.
Yeah, he's done a good job of just making sure he's there at the end. And hearing that it's about 56 laps by yourself on field, so Novak is right on the cusp. As the 36 comes down into pit road, that is
Disbro.
Sean Road, yes. So the first driver to blink is Zisbro. He pitted from pretty far back in the field though. He's 2 laps down as well. And missed his pit box, so from bad to worse for him.
Yeah, Disbro's not had the best day. He was involved in the very first caution that we had.
Yes.
Cookson and Jones starting to catch up to Novak here just a bit. Seeing Michael Jeans getting out of the way there. He's now fallen a couple, I think about 6 laps down actually.
And Brad Davies got about as close as you ever want to get to the outside wall. As Steve Sheehan goes to the inside on the background of the number 17, Spencer Burns going to lose another spot as a slow car down the apron there, through the tri-oval section, and they get their way by as Burns will lose the overlap. And Sheehan's got an opportunity to slide up in front of the number 5 machine. He does just that. A good move and puts himself up into P8 now. As we go around one more time again. 16 laps to go for these drivers now. Brad Davies continues to lead by only just under 0.2 of a second from Zach Novak in second place. Oh no! Brad Davies into the fence, a big wiggle through turn 2 and he slams the outside wall hard. And that is his race surely done. He got a huge piece of the wall.
He certainly did, and well, call Gifford Hill because the concrete is, well, it's found its way inside the car, Ryan.
Yep. And now the top 3, look how close they are, more contact! And down to the inside, spinning, there's a number 7 of Dylan Jones. Can he hold on to it? He's going to slide his way back up onto the racing surface. I will stay green. As 2 incidents take out 2 cars there. That was contact with Max Cookson as it came up on a lapped car on the approach to turn 1 that unsettled Cookson's machine.
Wow. No caution.
2 incidents there. None of them bring out the caution. What this has done is it's really bunched up. The top 2, Zach Novak has got Max Cookson all over the back of him now. And I don't know whether Cookson's got the pace to get there. I think Novak's got the fastest car at the moment. He's certainly most comfortable on field. Davies still struggling with that machine. He's going to lose another spot now. Losing out to Cookson and to Sheehan. Tell you what, Sheehan might be on for a top 5 here if he keeps this up. He's looking to the inside of Cookson now. Through 1 and 2, but can't quite get the run that he needs. Just ahead of them, Patello's all over the back. Will Norton for 4th as well. So number 16, Will Norton, going to dive from all the way down to the apron here. try to cover off Botello, but Botello will want to find his way through very quickly here before Max, or before the number 7 of Dylan Jones gets by Sheehan and gets to his rear bump.
I'm gonna watch replay here real quick with Doucette. Isn't it number 13? That car just off and into the barrier, and wow, he disappeared quickly there. I wonder, hardware failure maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Look at this, Steve Sheehan. He's got to the back of Botello. He's got to the inside of Botello. And I'll tell you what, he's got ahead of Botello through 3 and 4. He made that one happen very quickly there and puts himself up into P5. And now his next spot that he wants to try and get will be the car right in front of him, of Will Norton.
And that's Jeans again, getting out of the way, doing a good job of it. Norton being caught here down the back stretch, going into 3. Look at that Jeans, or Sheehan already going to the top side, getting the run up there.
To make it work on the outside. The last 2 moves he pulled were down to the inside line, but I reckon he's got the tyre life to make it happen on the outside. He's been saving his tyres, it looks like, because he's got so much extra pace on these drivers and so much more grip to work with, it seems. He's out of turn number 2, and here comes Botello to his rear bumper as well to give him a push. And he's going to clear him through turn 4, and Botello's going to get to the outside of Will Norton as well.
That's really the battle we have left up front. Not much has changed. It's Novak still leading Cookson, but with 6 laps to go at the start-finish line here, I expect that that's going to heat up a little bit here. It's time to go. Both Bello and Morton still fighting here.
3 green white chicken attempts too, should we need them. The caution was to fly in the next few laps. But I'll tell you what, Cookson's starting to really close up to the back.
Yes, he is.
Of Zach Novak. Oh no, he's got the fence!
57 laps on your tires will do that. Now he's got to worry about Maines. Maines has been back there taking care of his equipment. Won't be long. Maines is going to catch him. You know, if we fell into a green white checker, we're going to have trouble with fuel here on these cars. 5 laps to go.
I think you'd see a number of drivers come down to pit road if that were to happen.
Well, I'm starting to wonder if Cookson and Maines are even going to make it. I mean, we've got 5 laps to go. That's 58 on the tank. Coming to 59.
Going to be very close. Well, they've got the 2 caution periods they've had on this tanker field too, which does help them. I think that'll be the difference in them. That'll get them home. But you never know.
I don't think Maines could go any faster. I think he's running as fast as he can right now because of fuel. Catching Cookson might be a problem for him. A lot of these drivers have worked on this. They know exactly how much fuel they're burning per lap.
Yeah, going to be incredibly close here as there is just 3 laps to go now.
Oh boy.
In this race. And Zach Novak leads by 1.5 seconds back to Cookson and Maines. Maines getting really close to him. He's run him down by a huge margin since he clipped that wall. And when we get to the white flag, I think Maines is going to be right there on his rear bumper as they come across the stripe. 2 laps to go here in Vegas. What's Maines got? He's got a run. That's what he's got as he goes to look to the inside. Thinks better of it. Going to set himself up for the run out of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Can't quite get the run though this time by. Loses a bit of ground. Then into turn 3 and 4. Glued right to the rear bumper of that number 9 machine. Garrett Maines trying to find a way through for second place as the white flag is in the air for Zach Novak out front. He's got 2 seconds in hand to the leaders, to the 2 guys behind him.
Yeah,
And
Novak's
again,
good.
yeah.
Cookson.
Maines. There goes Maines. He's got to run. Can he use it? He's going to push Cookson. Oh, there was a laps car down to the inside that prevented him from making it work. But Zach Novak, he started this one from 12th. He came through the field nicely. He worked
Maines
strategy
to the
perfectly.
inside. Keith Cookson's out of fuel. Cookson's out of the fuel. Loses 2 spots. Cooks.
Number of drivers running out as they come across the line. Dylan Jones, another one that ran out across the start-finish line. Everyone else making their way through. But Zach Novak wins here in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Got it done. A very good drive from him.
I think Maines still has a little bit of fuel in the car. He's coming around to the pit lane. Novak, your winner. But Cookson runs out literally a few hundred feet from the start-finish line. Wow. Impressive.
Very good race then here at Las Vegas. Another fantastic display for top split of the Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. NASCAR iRacing Series Open class. And Novak wins it. Two races, 2 winners then. Jarrett Lieber got it done at Daytona. Novak gets it done at Vegas. Let's go and have a look at our results then from this one. Novak wins the margin in the end, 4 seconds back to Garrett Maines. Steve Sheehan came home in 3rd in the end, 4.2 seconds off the lead. Max Cookson 4th. Top 5 rounded out by Justin Patello. Will Norton came home 6th ahead of Dylan Jones, who ran out across the line in 7th. Blake Neer took 8th. The top 10 rounded out by Braden Boulos, who had a very quiet race. And Jesse Atchison into 10th.
Brad Davies going to finish 11th. 1 spot back from where he started. Jonathan Dalrymple with a solid run tonight. He'll finish 12th. Chris James finishes 13th. 14th going to go to Jose Solis Jr. He picked up 13 spots tonight. 15th going to Adam Jocelyn. Spencer Burns going to finish 16th tonight. DJ Lyon, the Pennsylvania driver, will finish 17th. 18th to Boyd Hogan. 19th for David Lamb, and another Pennsylvania driver rounding out your top 20. Picked up 12 spots, Joshua Campbell.
21st was Sean Disbro, ahead of Dustin Hall, Zach Hudson, and then getting into some of the retirement in this one. Ryan Doucette, Garrett Mashburn, Michael Jeans, Brendan McKissick, Josh Mickelmore, Justin Levine, Jordan Worth, Jimmy Mullis, Kane Cook, John Golimski, Alex McCollum, David Burnett, Logan Clampett, and Bob Bryant. Those 2 never took the start of this race. That was a very good race. Strategy showed its hand at the very end, and Novak managed that fuel perfectly. He made the right call as to whether to pit or not, and those fresh tyres helped him in the end.
Yeah, they certainly did. I think they were the difference maker. It wasn't many laps, but it was just enough. And, well, as we talked about, the fuel was really, really close there at the end. Well, as we found out, we had a few drivers run out there at the line. But a lot of fun this one was tonight.
It was. No one's come to join us for any interviews. Hopefully next week we get someone else. If you're watching
I don't think they like me.
Maybe it's that. If you're watching this, make sure you jump into the SimSpeed Discord. So make sure you get to say your piece on the broadcast if you finish highly up the order. Link is in the YouTube chat. But we'll wrap this one up for today. What a race it was. Novak victorious. And we look forward to what's to come for SimSpeed TV later on tonight for us, or in the morning if you're in America. The qualifying series for the Porsche Esports Super Cup coming up, and on the iRacing Esports Network. And I'm going to stop myself from wrapping up because Zach Novak has appeared in the interview channel.
Yay!
Yay! Zach Novak came to join us. Congratulations, good win.
Yeah, thanks. That was a fun race. Saw you guys pop the Discord link in there, so I figured I'd come talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, you played this strategy very well in the end. We thought that fuel was going to be extremely close for a number of drivers. How comfortable were you on your fuel margins?
I forgot about it honestly because that first run I pitted around lap, or I was about to pit around lap 50. I think the caution came out around 51 or so. I pretty much was just gonna run it to be the last one on a pit road, and I could go another 5 to 10 laps at lap 50. So once I pit that last time under caution, I knew I was pretty much safe. So I honestly forgot about it, and then I checked it with a few laps to go, and I had 3 or 4 extra laps of fuel. So
pretty comfortable in the end. And in terms of passing, it looked to be very difficult out there. We saw at one point you were sat in third, just watching as Garrett Mange and Max Cookson went side by side for lap after lap. Was it hard to pass out there, or was it just a case of maybe one of those guys' setups was just keeping them locked in that side by side?
it was a little bit of both. They got a really fast car, so at that point, with how hard they were racing, I knew I couldn't really go anywhere. I tried to make a move or two on Garrett, but I couldn't get anything done. So I just pretty much sat there and ran right behind them and saved my tires. I believe Davies was doing the same exact thing. He was just hanging out there behind me, and I knew with how hard they were racing, they definitely had to burn their tires off to some degree. And so I just waited and waited and waited, and eventually, with about 25 or 20 laps to go or so, it opened up, and Davies and I went to the front, and then I don't even know what happened with him. It looked like he just caught a bump wrong, and the car went flying pretty much.
Yeah, that was luckily not a race-setting damage. He ended up coming home in 11th place, but big shame for him. In terms of yourself, I don't believe you made an appearance in week 1 of the iRacing series. Are you looking at making a run at the championship, or is it your focus primarily, as I imagine it probably is, on the NASCAR Coca-Cola series?
I did run for the championship in this series a few years ago. It was definitely a fun experience for me. I improved a lot. Um, who knows? But at this point, this race specifically was just to get practice and see where we stacked up. I threw together a setup in about 3 hours. Um, and I just wanted to see, how it compared to these guys. I know a lot of these guys put in a lot of effort into this car. For these NIS and A Open races and stuff. So I think we were okay. Definitely need more work to be done, but these races are really useful to see how you stack up against some other competition, and kind of get you prepared for the big races every other Tuesday.
Well, hopefully we get to talk to you a few more times this season. And before we let you go, who are the sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just want to thank everybody behind the scenes at Lockdown Racing that help with all this stuff. Really appreciative of all them, and they definitely helped me a lot in my success. So thanks to them. Thanks to everybody at Richmond Raceway Esports, Sunoco, Sim Seats, Coca-Cola, everybody that helps out and helps provide us with an awesome experience. And uh, I'm just really really excited. I think we're definitely on the right track in terms of the setups, and I'm excited for Tuesday. I think this could be a preview of what's to come on Tuesday. So we'll see.
Well, look forward to seeing how you go. Thank you very much for joining us up here in the booth.
Thank you guys.
And we've got a few more drivers in the interview channel now, so we'll delay our wrap up a little bit more. And
Yeah.
Sean Ambrose is standing by with Garrett Maines.
Garrett, I talked about it during that last run, man. You just kind of hung out there in third place and No worry. You kind of knew what was going on. It almost looked like you knew exactly how much fuel you had to burn there to get to the end. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I was actually pretty good on fuel there at the end. I didn't have the long run car that Cookson and Novak and Davies had. I think I was burning it up on my end. On top of that, even worse. So I kind of had to lay back there at the end, and I was just kind of hoping that maybe somebody makes a mistake and I'll get a run back up to him. But just kind of picked them off one by one there at the end. We're in a good spot there. Just I didn't have the pace on the long run. I think as a driver, on top of that, just right front tire didn't agree with me.
All right. So, how much practice did you get here this week on this new tire model here at Vegas? This can be a very, very tricky track out here in the desert. The temp wasn't too high, but the wind was pretty strong today. Talk about that.
Yeah, I got a few races under my belt this week. I mean, honestly, somebody this week was calling it Daytona short, and I'd have to say that is a great description of it. It was a lot of just managing managing where you put your car. If you saved really, really heavy and you were up in the pack, you were set when it came around where everybody started falling off. The biggest thing here was just being in the right place at the right time towards the end of the run to be able to, really capitalize on everybody's tire wear.
Garrett, that pro stripe coming this season?
I sure hope so. Definitely going to be putting in the work in the coming months, and everybody behind me at Legacy Esports. It's looking really good, and I'm hoping we continue the positive momentum we've got.
Well, I'll tell you what, come out of Vegas here with a second place finish looks pretty positive to me. You've got some good momentum going into week 3. So we thank you. Who do you want to thank?
Well, I got to thank Bobby Dale Earnhardt, everybody over at Legacy Esports, and Andy DeLay, Butt Kicker. I got to thank all the builders, Boyd Hogan, Christopher Hill, Derek Runge, all those guys that put in the work. Max Cookson put a lot of time in this week as well, and he was up there running with us until he actually was running out of fuel coming to the line. I was trying to push him, but Steve is coming up on us pretty quick. But overall, just a huge team effort this week. Everybody put a ton of time into it, and it really showed.
Yeah, I think Max needed Max needed about a football field, and that was about it. So he was about that short. So we're going to talk to him next. But Garrett, congratulations. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
That's Garrett Maines, your second place finisher tonight here in Las Vegas, baby. And Jonesy, I think you're going to talk to Cookson about exactly how little fuel he had left in his tank.
Yeah, Cookson, you run out. You were about 100 meters away from that start-finish stripe. How close was it?
Close, man, close.
Did you know from the start of the stint that you're gonna have to save fuel? It's gonna be close. I mean, we knew it was on the very verge of the fuel stint. Do you feel like you could have saved any more, or were you sort of max fuel conservation for most of that stint there at the end?
Yeah, I definitely could have saved a little bit more there. I didn't really pick up on it till like 30 to go in the run, and I just got behind Zach there after Brad made that bobble, and then just tried to save as much as I could, and just didn't save enough.
In terms of how the race went, other than that, I mean, you're up the front for the whole race long. You spent a ridiculous amount of the race side by side with Garrett Maines. Just talk us through your mindset for that battle.
Yeah, me and Garrett really just tried to get up front there and kind of just ride there 1-2 for a while. I mean, we were side by side there, but the end goal was just for us to be 1-2 at the end of it.
You did a pretty good job of maintaining a good result for your Legacy Esports team there, second and fourth. Nothing to be disappointed at. And in terms of the overall championship for the NASCAR iRacing Series, is that something you're gunning for to hopefully come out of the year with a podium or even a win in the NIS Series?
Yeah, that's definitely a big goal we have. Definitely a pretty decent way to get the season started off for me and Garrett. Some bad luck tonight with some of the other team guys, but overall it was a pretty solid run.
Went pretty good. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Before we let you go, who are the people that get it done for you and the sponsors you'd like to thank?
Yeah, Big thanks to Butt Kicker, Bobby Dale Earnhardt, Andy DeLay, all the guys at Legacy Esports, Boyd, Chris, Derek, everyone who helps out on the cars. Couldn't do it without those guys.
Well, thank you very much. Look forward to hopefully talking to you next time out. See how you go at Auto Club Speedway. I believe it is in week 3.
Thank you guys.
Well, that will about do us for our interviews here after a very good Vegas race. And next week, is it Auto Club Speedway? I believe we're going to Auto Club, Sean.
I believe so. Yes, we are. You know where I'm heading first, Jonesy? I am going to invite you over to Circus with me, and we're going to hit the buffet, have a little steak, a little lobster, maybe even some eggs, a pancake or two. I don't know. Big variety, huge tables of food, more food than you've ever seen in your life, all over at Circus, and it's just down the strip here, about 15 minutes away. So it's been a blast. I love Las Vegas, but well, where we're heading next, that's only about 40 minutes away from me. That's just down the hill, man. So I'm looking forward to meet you in Fontana, buddy.
Should be good. Until then, plenty more broadcasts coming up on the iRacing Esports Network and on SimSpeed TV. Make sure you go and like both and subscribe to both of those channels on YouTube. Chuck us a like on the SimSpeed social media pages at SimSpeed Esports Network. If you want to stay up to date with our latest broadcasts, as I mentioned earlier tonight, the Porsche qualifying series, strength of field, early morning for the Americans. Nice, convenient, 10 o'clock, I believe it is, for us Aussies. And then the supercar strength of field on Monday night as well. Should be good. Plus plenty more friendly time slots for you Americans and Europeans watching. But until then, been a pleasure calling this race for you. From myself, Ryan Jones, Sean Ambrose alongside me, and from Jay Kennedy behind the scenes. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction. He's going in the outside. Both of them. Maloney.
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up to him.
Oh my God.
Big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go.
Oh no!
That's massive. This is it. This is over. I can't believe this. Oh my God. God, what?